Hey, good evening. This is Chronicles, the real ISO, rush hour edition. Oh man, it is what's today? Thursday. So we made it through the week. You know, when I was a kid, I never wanted to be a part of the rat race. I never really wanted to, be on a 5-day clock. That just is never my thing. And when I got to really started working, when I had a retail job when I was in college, and there was no 5-day clock. It was a 7-day clock. Because the busiest days are on the weekends. And sometimes it was so depressing at times. I would go in the morning, I would not see the light of day till the next day. Or I would go in during the daytime, I wouldn't see the light of day, man. That was so... And I used to be like, oh, I hate this. And my parents, they used to tell me when I was a kid, I wanted a job so bad. They used to say, when you start working, you're not gonna stop. And they weren't lying. But working is not a bad thing though. Working is good for your soul. Cause as much as you hate a job, try going without working for like 2 weeks, and you'll start feeling a certain way, especially if you're a guy. I don't know what it's like to be a girl, but if you're a guy and you go a long time without working, you're gonna feel a certain way about it. But it is what it is, man. It's just something, it's something you gotta be thankful for. A lot of people, like when I was the manager, I used to be like, look, y'all, this ain't my dream job, but if we here, let's work, because our work is a reflection of our character and our integrity. If how you do something is how you do anything. If you have a task to do it your best. Because when somebody comes behind you, they're like, who did this? And they point to you, it could either be a disgrace or an exaltation. So I never want my name to be synonymous with disgrace. Never. You gotta protect your name at all costs. A good name is better than silver and gold. That's what the Bible say. But hey, what's up, Angel? Yeah, it's Traffic Chronicles. It's Rush Hour edition. But but yeah, one thing I kind of, I don't. Sometimes I have to, and I gotta stop doing this. I gotta stop thinking. I gotta stop thinking with a 360 scope and just think 180, just straight ahead. Cause sometimes I think back and I kind of get frustrated. It's like, I'm like, and your parents are your parents. They never, as grown as you are, they never stop trying to parent you. And that shit gets annoying at times, because sometimes it's like, yo, like, you like chill, like I'm grown now, Well, sometimes they don't understand the times that we live in. For instance, I grew up, I came of age in a shifting economy, right? What I mean by that is going to college and just graduating wasn't gonna cut the mustard no more. I came up in a time where the economy was shifting. There was a lot of things going on. Remember the whole Y2K thing? I don't know how old you are, but whoever's watching, but I got 2 people watching. But like, I don't know how old y'all are, but I remember when Y2K came around. Like, everybody thought the world was gonna end, and everybody was scared, and like, it was just crazy. Everybody thought the banks were gonna crash. And, you know, I went to sleep. I was like, man, I ain't tripping. Like, I don't care. Like, I couldn't do nothing. I was like, what, 86, 2000 minus 86. So I was 14 years old. So I was like, man, ain't nothing I can do. So I went to sleep. I woke up on the 31st, and then I turned on the news. I was like, okay, if China's okay, then we okay. Because they like 24 hours ahead of us, and they were fine and nothing happened, right? But see, the world did come to an end. The world as we knew it came to an end. That's what people don't really realize, you know, in the allegorical sense. In the allegorical sense. And this is what I mean. The whole idea of commerce and finance, it changed. You know, that's when we came into the digital age. You know, the year 2000. And then, you know, 2001, you had the whole 9/11 thing, and you know, whatever you feel about that, it happened, and you know, it kind of changed the way we live. You know, you know what I hate about the whole Patriot Act? That whole it birthed TSA. I hate TSA. I can't stand TSA. I mean, I remember back in the day when I was a kid, you used to be able to actually go to like the airport, you know, when the you know, like when you're boarding the plane, you used to actually be able to watch the people board the plane and hug them goodbye, and then, you know, you would watch the plane take off from the window, and then you'd be crying and stuff like that. Yeah, like, you can't do that no more. You just gotta drop them off in front of the airport and then skedaddle. You know, I think we should abolish TSA. We need to abolish the Patriot Act. But my point is, the world ended as we knew it, and now we're here in another era. And my point is that when you were coming up in that time, you weren't prepared for it. You were still operating under the old paradigm of getting a job and getting a college degree, and that's your ticket into the marketplace. And it was so wrong. In fact, that degree put a lot of us behind the 8-ball, because, you know, I tell a lot of children, I tell a lot of young kids this. I'm like, look, you go to college, you have a $60,000 debt that you have to pay back because you can't cancel it. You can't file a bankruptcy. You stuck with that. And so you're 60,000 in the hole, and you're looking for a job, but every job that you look for, they said, we need experience, and you don't have experience, right? So then you have to take an entry-level job that you didn't need a degree for, right? I'm telling you, the game, it's a dirty game. So you take a job you didn't need a degree for, and that pays, like, I don't know, you know, like not minimum wage, but, you know, not, you know, just something to where you can make it. You know, so it's like, damn, what did I go to college for? And then you're a guy too, right? This is what I tell the young men. I'm like, you're a guy, you know, you trying to date, you trying to get married and stuff like that, but you work a shitty job that's really not paying you. It's not really paying you nothing. So, you know, and all the girls, you know, they want a certain type of lifestyle that you can't provide for them. You know, so then it's like, what do you do? Then you competing with people that are, you know, out of your, you know, they're out of your league. You know what I mean by that? You know, you got the A league, the B league, and the C league. So you're in the C league, and you gotta compete with people in the A league. You know, that's really, I'm not gonna say it's not fair, because life is not fair, but it's a tall task. And you don't realize that when you're going through it. You're just like, damn, like, what's going on? You know, so, you know, you deal with that, and then, you know, you do meet a young lady that you like, but, you she wants to get married, but she got college debt too. So you 60 stacks in the hole, she's 60 stacks in the hole. So y'all come together and y'all have $120,000 of debt, right? You can't even buy a house with that no more. My parents bought a house in 1994. I think it was like $89,000 in 1994. It's a nice size house. Shit, you can't get nothing with that now. And I'm saying, like, you $120,000 in the hole. You don't even have a house yet. So you got to take these things into consideration, but nobody prepared us for that. So now you take all that into consideration, and you look at the millennial generation. A lot of us are going through a lot of things that people can't put a finger on, but it all stems back to how we were trained, how we were cultivated. The times we grew up in that we didn't realize what was going on. Our parents didn't realize it neither, and they couldn't really prepare us for it. So, and then, not to mention social media. Social media changed the world, and I'm not gonna say it changed the world for better or for worse, because there's a lot of good things that came from social media. There's a lot of bad things. Social media is a tool. You can use it for good or evil. So that changed the way we do things. But now here we are. Okay, I went through all that, right? I went through all that just to get to my point of this video. I was reading in the Bible one time. It was talking about how an ant has no overseer, no boss. She prepares her food in the summertime for the winter, right? What's happening in the summertime? A lot of things are happening in the summertime. Nature comes alive. The days are longer. It's lively. And in the wintertime, the days are shorter. It's less activity. And it was talking about, it tells you to examine the ant and study her ways. So what we do in the summertime, the spring and summertime of our lives, is very important, because we do shit like we're gonna live forever, and we're not. I'm 37 years old, right? People say I look young. People say that I look like I'm in my early 30s, late 20s, and whatnot, but I'm 37. And there are a lot of people that look young. You can't really tell, what age they are. And they live like they're young. And when I say young, I mean foolish. They live without wisdom. They don't walk accordingly. So, and the thing is, the most foolish thing you can do is think that you have time, because you don't. 10 years will fly by and you're gonna be like, man, where the hell did the time go? Little babies that you held are gonna be looking at you eye to eye, and you're just gonna be like, wow, right? So we live this life, we live a fast life like we're young, and we're all gonna get old. And what are we gonna have to show for what we've done with our youth? My younger sister said that youth is wasted on the young, and that was a very profound statement, because it's so true, right? So it's not good, if you look in Genesis, and sometimes I'll be trying to avoid talking about the Bible, but it's so pertinent to everything. I don't want to be that crazy, weird religious dude that's always just talking about the Bible. But it's pertinent, so I'm going to talk about it. If you look in Genesis, God created everything. And everything he created, he said it was good, right? And so the first thing he said that was not good was for man to be alone. He said it's not good, right? That was the first thing God said was not good. It's not good for man to be alone. So guess what he did? He made man a companion. He made man a help that was adequate for him or to him or whatever preposition you want to use. So with our youth, you know, we've adopted this fast life, this microwave mentality, this gimme. I gotta have this, and whoever that's with me, they have to give me something. They have to provide something for me, and this, that, and the other. We got all these demands of people. And we end up in a lonely place because we put all these crazy, unfair demands on people. But see, here's the thing about love. You know, it's when I say I love somebody, am I saying that I love them because they're them, or I love them because that's how they make me feel? Because if I love them for how they make me feel, then I really just love me. When you do stuff for people and you do it, you know, you do it with the motivation of one day I'm going to be able to ask them for something, right? Is that really love? Is that really love? Whereas you just give somebody something and you go, right? You know, I think that this is just my opinion. These are my opinions, all right? Like, I don't want nobody coming for me talking about your I don't know, your teaching. I don't know. But these are just my opinions. I think that we see true love with the mother and a little baby. A mom loves that baby because it's her baby. And that baby cannot do shit for her. All the baby does is cry. The baby is demanding, change me, feed me, give me attention. And the mother enjoys it. The mother finds fulfillment in loving that little baby. I think that's the closest thing to true love that, you know, that's an example. Because even, you know, and, you know, maybe not, I don't know. You know, I gotta think about it, because can a man love a woman that deeply, like a woman will love her child? Because that child will cross that mom, and that mom will be heartbroken and still love that baby and still long for her baby. But a woman can cheat on a man, and the man will be like, man, you gotta go, ho. Like, you know, as deep as you may love that woman, as crazy you know you can be about her, as much as you're willing to kill and die and live for her, she makes one fatal mistake, and that's a wrap, right? So, you know, I would think that, and like I said, this is my opinion, I would think that, like, the closest thing to true love that we all can see is a mom and her child and her baby. Because that baby can do nothing for the mom, but the mom finds fulfillment in loving that baby. You know, so it's like when we go out there looking for love, we should really be looking for people to love, because you find fulfillment in service. That's just my opinion. You find fulfillment in service. And, you know, it's like when we talk about, I want somebody that has this, that, and this, and that, and this. Why? So it can serve you. but how can you serve them? And I think that's why a lot of this generation is facing so much loneliness, because we don't understand, we don't get it, you know. And you know, we're really insensitive too. We're really insensitive to each other both ways. You know, they say, like my mom used to tell me, my mom used to send like women, she'd be like, you need to talk to this girl. I'm like, I'll be like, no. I'm like, what I look like? What I look like? I don't look like talking to her. I'm like, if I saw her on the street, I wouldn't just like cross the street to talk to her. Like, I'm not attracted to her. Like, what you want us to talk about? Well, you need to get to know her, and you need to get to know people. I'm like, I'm not attracted to her. Like, what do you want me to do? All you worried about is looks. So it's like only the ugly girls. Oops, I'm not supposed to call people ugly, but only the women that I'm not attracted to have good hearts and good personality. Get the hell out of here. That's crazy, you know. So it's like she's telling me to lower my standard, or she's telling me that I shouldn't like the things I like, and you know. But at the same time, it's like, you know, do you really just are you really just looking for something superficial? You know, so it's like, which one is it? Now me, you know, looks are for, you know, I'm a guy, so you know it's visual. It's like how you present yourself. That's important to me, because how you present yourself says a lot about who you are as a woman. You know, but you know, once I start talking to you, once I engage in you, once I get to see, once you start showing me what's in you, you know, that will either entice me to stay or like cue me to get the hell out quickly. You know what I'm saying? Let me read some of these comments. However, your mind is old. I'm in traffic. Yes, I thought you were 25. I grew up in the 90s. I grew up in the 90s too. Not to 25. Nah, I'm not 25. I wish. It don't make you sound crazy. I don't think it makes you sound like a crazy person. But thank you. I don't think it makes me sound crazy neither. But yeah, you know, I'm just saying, like, you know, we've gone about everything wrong. You know, I have one thing that drives a lot of these internet women crazy, and I say internet women because a lot of these internet narratives are just internet narratives. Like most people out there are just people. They're just simple people that just want love. They just want friendship. They want attention. You know, they want positive attention. They just want somebody. They don't have these long laundry lists of things. You know, they might have things, but you know, they don't have all these unreasonable, unattainable standards. And I forgot where I was going with that. And this traffic got me discombobulated. Let me turn on this air. But man, let me try to backtrack. See, there goes that 36. There's 37-year-old brain kicking in right there. I'll be forgetting things. But anyway, my point is that we need to examine the ant, like Proverbs says. Make the best of our time now, because you know, one day wintertime is coming, and it's not good for you to be alone. You know, it says in Ecclesiastes, it says that two are better than one. When one is when one is cold, you know, the other ones can provide heat to each other. He said it drives the internet women crazy. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. But what drives the internet women crazy is when you say, what do you bring to the table? You should know what you bring to the table. You should know what your gifts and your attributes are. You should know how you can serve another person. That's the important that's the importance of that question. Because if somebody asks me what do I bring to the table, I'm not gonna be offended. Besides, they were like, you ask a man what he brings to the table. Well, I got a job and I provide. Well, that comes standard. Every man, every man should work. Like, I don't give a damn. Like, forget that it's 2023, 2024. Men should work. Men need to work. A man that does not work has low self-esteem. It's just how we wired. Like, we got to do something. We got to feel like we're contributing. We got to feel like we're carrying or contributing. A man that's not working, he's going to feel low. So, you ask somebody like, what do you bring to the table? You ask a man, what do you bring to the table? Well, okay, I have a job. Oh, somebody got caught. I got a job and I work. Okay, cool. What else do you bring to the table? Well, I'm good with my hands. I'm a good listener. What else? My brain's like an encyclopedia of useless facts. So I'm entertaining. I'm funny. I'm patient. What else? I compromise on preference. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, these are all attributes that can be compatible with another person. What did I say? I said patience, right? I'm patient. I'm funny. Like, I got humor, so I can provide. I can make light of a situation when it's heavy, right? I got focus, so I don't get easily distracted. All these attributes can serve another person, So it's like, I'm not looking, and I'm not just saying me. I'm just saying me in general. I'm not out here looking like, oh, what could somebody do for me? It's like, nah, like, how can I serve somebody else? I think that's what we should like focus on. And like I said, this is just my opinion. So, but yeah, I'm just saying, like, we all gonna get old, and nobody wants to be old and alone. Truth be told, nobody wants to be young and alone. When you're young, that's when you're supposed to enjoy your partner the most. You're young and strong. Like, sometimes when I'm helping old men do things, it's crazy. Like, the amount of energy I have in contrast to them. I got all this energy to just get stuff done. So it's like, when you're young, that's when you want somebody. Not when you're old and not when you're old and you don't have the energy to serve that other person. People be like, oh, I'm gonna be a millionaire, then I'm gonna get a 20-year-old. Yeah, you're gonna spend half that million on them blue pills because you can't get it up. Because you're gonna be so old and tired and probably stressed. Because guess what? Being alone is a stressor. It's scientifically proven. If you want, like, I will give you the article on PubMed. And I collect scientific articles. I'm weird like that, but I'll read the article. Being alone is a stressor. People talking about the keto diet. I'm like, don't do the keto diet if you don't have a significant other. Why? Because it's a stress diet. If you're already stressed, your keto diet is gonna drive your cortisol up. It's gonna go through the roof, and then you're gonna burn out. I remember I was training, and I was training at a gym, and this lady, she asked me, what about the keto diet? What about the keto diet? And I kept trying to like get around it. She's like, well, what do I gotta do? She's like, just give it to me. I'm like, fine. I'm like, if you're gonna do the keto diet, you better have a whole lot of sex to curb that stress, because it's a stress diet. All right, let me see. I'm still in traffic. That's crazy. What do you say about the hearts of service getting taken advantage of? You got to have discernment. You got to be able to discern who who really has a heart. You gotta just, cause there's some cold bastards out here, and I'm gonna tell you this: talk to people. Like, conversation is so important. I said in the live the other day, this is my opinion, I said that intimacy happens before and after intercourse. Conversation is where intimacy is. You have to really engage in conversation with people. You gotta ask those hard questions. Conversation is like undressing people. You're just peeling back the layers. That's when you get to see what's really in people's heart. What people say is what rolls out, what comes out of people's mouth is what is in their heart. So, and pay attention to the patterns. We're all creatures of habit and patterns. So, pay attention to the speech patterns. These are fine details you got to discern, especially like for you ladies, because like, y'all think that we have all the power. Like, shit, y'all do the choosing. I mean, like, we gotta, as much, as much dudes, gotta come out here, and all these red pill dudes be talking, oh well, yeah, I'm gonna chase the bag, and I'm gonna be an alpha and all that stuff. You can do all that shit, but if a woman don't choose you, guess what? you SOL, homie. So the women, they have to be more discerning when it comes to a man. And I guess, and that was an abstract ass answer. I'll say this. If you're the woman, right, you want to look for a man to follow, he has to set the tone. He has to set the tone, So look how he leads. If he leads with service, that's a good sign. But then, then after that, you got to discern, like, okay, well, what's his motivation behind this service? That's what you have to discern. But, if a man leads with service, that's a good sign. That's a green flag. Hey, it's funny, I never get pulled over in Houston. I ain't finna get pulled over now. Somebody got pulled over. So I hope that answered your question. Conversation rules nations. Yes, that's true. My dad used to always say that. Oh shoot, I might be getting pulled over. Uh-oh. Oh no, that's the ambulance. Somebody got their head busted. Alright, let me these folks really after me. Y'all about to see a high-speed chase. Oh. Alright, I'm good. They were just they probably got a call for like a crackhead or something like that. But anyway, it said, do you know any Bible verses that speak about discernment and protecting your heart? I know a lot, but I'm not gonna say a lot. I know a lot, but I know some. I'll send you some. But like, it says guard your heart with all diligence, because because out of it comes the matters of life. That's in Proverbs. Proverbs is a good book to just read, because it's easy to understand. You don't really need context. It's just straightforward, practical advice. And if you read Proverbs, you get that wisdom. The rest of the Bible is easy to is more understandable, because you see that wisdom playing out in real time in some of these accounts. But guard your heart. What else? It talks about people that are hard-hearted. People that are uncompromising, hard-hearted. You don't want to be like that. It says discern. Another thing, it says discern the spirits to see if they're of God. What that means is What that means is, you know, when it says spirit, sometimes it can be referring to the speech. You know, what somebody, the word somebody speaks. You know, that's another way the Bible uses spirits. So when it said discern the spirits to see that if they are of God, discern the things that people say, their words. You know, and then after that it says that he that confesses that Jesus Christ has come in the flesh, you know, those spirits are of God. You know, stuff like that. You know, you want a godly person. You know, you want a godly man that's going to protect your heart. You know, that's one thing that a man has to do. He has to protect his woman's heart. You know, because like I said in the live, I think last week, a man needs what's inside of his woman. You know, you don't want to handle your woman rough because you're gonna shatter her, and you're gonna spill her out. You know, and then what? You know, she's gonna be of no good to you if she's just, you know, a woman gotta feel comfortable. And a lot of guys don't, especially a lot of young men. I didn't really understand that when I was a young man. I was a fucking demon. Like I always had a good heart, but like, excuse my language. I said I'm not supposed to be dropping F-bombs like that. It's been a long day, but you know, like I had this thing where it's like, man, everybody's gonna feel me today. Like, you know, everybody gonna feel me, you know, at all costs. And like, that's not the way to be. Like, everybody didn't feel me. Like, that turns a lot of people off. Nobody wants to be around the I told you so guy. Like, nobody. You know. Yeah, I was a demon. I was a demon in the streets. But I had a good heart. Like, I was one of those guys who was like, you gotta get to know me. But I mean, that was just all bravado, because, you know, it's like I was still trying to grow into my manhood. I was still trying to find it. You know, I didn't really become a man until I really just learned the word of God. When I had to see what a man is. All that like macho nonsense, like that's not a man. Like, that's just insecurity trying to be covered up, you know. But I'm out of traffic now. Shit, I'm almost home. Anyway, anybody got any questions? Before I dip? I was all over the place today, like all over the place. But I hope you got something from this. No questions? Going once. Going twice. Good night, good talk. Hey, if you still in Dallas, I might DM you, because I'm gonna be in Dallas. I'm be in Dallas for the holiday. I'm probably gonna hit the skating rink. So you gonna be there. I'm gonna hit you up. And don't high side. And don't I'm not like one of those road bound skaters, but I can go fast though. Anyway, but okay, cool. I'll hit you up, and I'll hit you up with those verses. Anyway, this has been another edition of Traffic Chronicles with the Real Ice O, and I'll see y'all probably tomorrow morning.